We got full coverage of the 68th Annual Emmy Awards, the bomb attack that struck in New York City, new changes in Cal State Fullerton's gastronome, and a live interview with an on-campus career specialist.
And we have the recap of CSUF sports and the home season opener for the LA Rams.
All this and more here on OC News. Thanks for joining us here at OC News. I'm Karen Vargas.
And I'm Eric Resendiz. As always, OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Thanks for joining us. We're very excited to share all of the news, all of the entertainment, Emmys, sports. We have it all here for you. And a big night in Hollywood. The television industry gave its top honors. We start tonight with everything about the Emmys. Taryn Martinez is here with the details. Taryn.
In this week's entertainment, I'm Taryn Martinez. The 68th Annual Emmys was hosted by Jimmy Kimmel in Los Angeles, California. Natalie is here to talk to us, ask people what they thought about the show. Natalie?
That's right, guys. We are at the TSU currently where we're trying to get what students thought of last night's Emmy show. Let's go see what they have to say.
Yeah, so I thought it was different from the other award shows like the Grammys or the VMAs or whatever because it's mostly awards, which is very different, I think, from the award shows that are all performances with like 3 awards and everything else is online. So I like that it was just actually honoring the people for their work. That wasn't very showy. It was mostly just, actually the presentation of the awards, which I like better.
I noticed with the Emmys, there were a lot of diverse winners. There were a lot of nominees. Rami Malek won, Regina King won twice in a row. RuPaul won for reality co-host, or not co-host, host. And I just think that, television needs to film needs to catch up to television.
Overall, students were happy with the theme and tone set by the Emmys award show last night. It was mentioned that a lot of them didn't actually have the time to sit down and watch the show, but a lot of the information they got was through the highlights and articles posted on the web. Now we look forward to next year's Emmys. Reporting from Cal State Fullerton, I'm Natalie Gomez, OC News.
If you didn't get the chance to see the Emmys, don't worry, I'll fill you in. Shows like The Game of Thrones and The People vs. O.J. Simpson American Crime Story won multiple awards. Before their awards, Jimmy Kimmel made a reference to The Game of Thrones, stating, "If your show doesn't have a dragon or white bronco in it, go home right now." That being said, Game of Thrones went home with 12 Emmys this season, 9 in technical categories and 3 top prizes. The People vs. O.J. Simpson picked up 9 awards, including Best Limited Series. Now, speaking of People vs. O.J. Simpson, Sarah Paulson herself won her first Emmy for her portrayal of Marshall Clark. She mentioned to Variety that she really wanted to win after finding out about her nominations. Congratulations, Paulson, you did it. Julia Louis-Dreyfus won an Emmy for the 5th year in a row, dedicating her award to her father who passed this Friday before.
I'd like to dedicate this to my father, William Louis-Dreyfus, who passed away on Friday. And I'm so glad that he liked Veep because his opinion was the one that really mattered. Thank you.
Jill Soloway, Transparent creator, won an Emmy for directing a comedy series for the 2nd year in a row. She thanked the transgender community for their lives and called for an end to violence against transgender women. Star of the show, Jeffrey Tambor, took home the trophy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy and mentioned that we should all give transgender talent a chance. Quote, "I would be happy if I were the last cisgender male to play a transgender role."
I'm not going to say this beautifully, but to you people out there, you producers and you network owners and you agents and you creative sparks, please give transgender talent a chance. Give them audition.
And lastly, regarding diversity, the Emmys was a much more subtle show and did not include the racist boycotts of the Oscars. CNBC stated that this year's Emmys marks the first time that actors of colors have appeared in every leading actor category. Actors and actresses such as Kerry Washington, Rami Malek, Regina King, Sterling K. Brown, and Courtney B. Vance took home Emmys this Sunday evening. Michael Key and Jordan Peele, African-American comedy duo, also took home an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Sketch Show. Well, that's it for entertainment this week. I'm Taryn Martinez.
We now send it to James Wallace, who has the latest on politics.
All right, we've got a lot going on in the world of politics as we have now 50 days until Election Day. First off, let's get to the bombing in New York City that happened over the weekend. Mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, avoided using the term terrorism to describe what happened, saying, quote, "It was intentional, it was a violent act, it was certainly a criminal act." Ahmad Khan Rahami is the name of the suspect that investigators say pulled off the attack. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton called it an apparent terrorist attack, then also condemned the act a little later. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump was informed of the bombing when he was about ready to get off his plane for a rally in Colorado Springs. Trump opened up his rally by saying to his supporters that we have to, quote, "get very, very tough." Trump also tweeted earlier today praising law enforcement on the scene at the bombing, saying, quote, "Great job once again by law enforcement. We are proud of them and should embrace them. Without them, we don't have a country," end quote. And speaking of bombs, we're going to go live now to Jillian Salas in Fullerton for a report on a suspicious pipe.
We're here on the 3000 block of North Euclid Street in Fullerton, where a suspicious device was found earlier this morning. Fullerton Police Department and the bomb squad evacuated the device along with the surrounding homes. Around 12:30 p.m., a spokesperson from Fullerton PD tweeted that the device was rendered safe. This event comes after the bombings in New York and New Jersey this weekend. According to CNN, 28-year-old Ahmad Khan Rahimi was arrested Monday after a shootout with police in New Jersey. Rahimi was wanted in questioning in connection with the sustained 29 injuries that occurred Saturday. Authorities have said that they are not looking for any other suspects. Reporting for OCTV News, this is Jillian Salas.
Thank you, Jillian. Continuing with politics, the presidential race is now tighter than it has been throughout the entire campaign. In the latest Real Clear Politics average for polling, Hillary Clinton has a lead of less than a point against Donald Trump. Also, according to the latest poll out of the state of Georgia done by Monmouth University, Trump has a 3-point lead with 45% support to Clinton's 42%, and Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson has 8% respectively in that poll. In addition to good polling news for Trump, the LA Times/USC National Daily Tracking Poll for Trump shows him with a healthy 7-point lead over Hillary Clinton in a head-to-head matchup. It's also worth noting that Robert Costa, a national political reporter for the Washington Post and who's been covering the Trump campaign, said on an interview with Charlie Rose recently that we'll probably see more of Trump's daughter Ivanka and his wife Melania out campaigning for him. This is in order to try and get more support from women in the upcoming election, an area that Trump has struggled with throughout his campaign. On a humorous note, at the Emmys last night, Jimmy Kimmel made quite the remark about Trump's campaign while throwing producer Mark Burnett into the mix.
I'm going on the record right now. He's responsible. If Donald Trump gets elected and he builds that wall, the first person we're throwing over it is Mark Burnett.
As you can see, Kimmel got quite the reaction from the crowd there at the Emmys last night. Well, that's all we have for you today in the world of politics. Now we're going to send it over to Shaira with weather.
Happy Monday, everyone. That is right. We are in Southern California and it is still hot, even though we're just a couple of days away from fall. Now, today's weather is looking like 97 with lows of 70 degrees. Now, humidity is pretty high at 33, which gives us a little bit of possibility of some rain more towards the mountain areas. Now, for all of you that are interested in watching our sunset, it's going to be at 6:52 p.m. this evening. Now, let's take a look at what's in store for the rest of the nation. Now, for the rest of the week, actually, here in the city of Fullerton, we see that Tuesday is going to be at 89 degrees with lows of 71. Now, it's still going to be a little cloudy for the rest of the week. On Wednesday, 87 with 68, and then Thursday at 81 with 58. Still, on Friday, it's going to be a little sunny, just a little sunnier than the rest of the week, with weathers at 82 and then minimums of 60. The sun will come back up on Saturday with 89 and 63. Now for the rest of the nation, let's take a look at what's in store for the rest of the states. As you can see, in the East Coast, we see that 70 degrees, between the 70s, and then a little hotter towards Miami with 88. The hottest temperature, of course, is going to be in Dallas with 99, nearly almost 100. Now, towards the West Coast, we see that San Francisco is at 78, and then closer to us, it's going to be at 80 degrees. Now, thunderstorms. What is going on with all these storms within the state of Florida? We see that also in Atlanta, we have some heavy storms, and then towards the center of the country, not that much storms going on, but towards here in the southern, it's towards more the south part of Los Angeles, we have Payne's hurricane, which is coming up towards the north, and then cities such as Phoenix is also reaching a lot of heavy storms, but for the northern part of the country, the storm will die down much, much more. So for all of you that are in the north states, the storm will be coming down towards the Payne's hurricane. So that is all that we have for the weather this week. Now stay tuned with us because we have the latest on how some CSUF students are helping other CSUF students that are in need.
Coming up, the latest on the changes with the gastronome, we have CSUF's career specialist, Cassandra Thompson.
And up to the minute sports action, all of this when we return. Stay with us.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Our very own Marissa has the latest on CSUF gastronome. Let's take a look.
Cal State Fullerton Titans have taken on the tough issue of food insecurity on campus. A new pilot program is being implemented throughout the month of September, which will allow students to give up 1 out of 8 allotted guest passes to a fellow Titan in need. Aramark, the food service provider for the gastronome, has agreed to match every donation that is being made. This means potentially 4,000 meals can be given to a student in need. We've talked to a couple of students and we want to see how they feel about this new service and whether or not they'll be willing to give up one of their guest passes.
I don't really have a lot of family that comes and visits, so I won't be using a lot of them. So I think like at the end of the semester I'll end up donating them to fellow Titans who need them.
It's like a good idea, and I would actually donate my passes to someone that actually needs them, or like someone that wants to eat because they can't afford like either a 7-day meal plan, or someone that commutes and then they're like really hungry, they didn't bring money or whatever. Like I think that would be great.
All students who will receive the donated meals will remain completely anonymous. If you would like any more information about how to receive donated meals, please contact the Dean of Students. This is Marissa Alanis with OC News.
Many students stress about internships and entry-level jobs. A hidden treasure on campus is the Career Center. We turn to Natalie Gomez, who is live in studio with career specialist Cassandra Thompson. Natalie?
That is right, guys. I am here with the lovely Cassandra. Welcome to our show. Thank you so much for coming in. So let's just dive right in. Tell us a little bit about what you do for in the Career Center for us students. Just give us a little
Okay. So my role is career specialist for the College of Communications. Every college has a specialist. So we are here to, you can make appointments with us to go over your resume, cover letter, do mock interviews, use our drive-through services. We do workshops, anything to help you get an internship and get that first job out of college.
Oh, wow. And I know that you've had a very successful career. So can you give us a little background as to, what have you done? Tell us.
Okay, so I interned in college twice. It's partly why I think internships are so important. My second internship was for On Air with Ryan Seacrest when it was a TV show. So I was a production intern, similar to here, and got to meet really fun people and leveraged that into my first full-time job working in marketing at Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and then worked for over 5 years casting contestants for Wheel of Fortune. So I taught people how to do that for a living, and then went on to work on some other shows and went back to get my master's, and now I'm here.
So you got to spin the wheel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I taught people how to do this. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So tell me, what are some of the services and benefits that kind of don't get enough attention by students?
Okay, so I feel like people know the Career Center does events like the grad school career fair that's going on tomorrow, our internship career expos. What they don't come to are a lot of our really specific workshops. As I mentioned, each college has a specialist, so we really try to tailor things to our college. So for comm students, I do a ton on networking. Last week there was Government Week. There's workshops specifically for international students. So students, there's a niche for everything, and we have a career-centered workshop to fit that niche.
Gotcha. Yeah. And are there any tips that you would give to students who are graduating?
Yeah, I would say start in the Career Center as early as possible to get your resume looked at. If you have no clue how to write one, come see us. We can get you started. And then get going early. Even if it is your last semester right now and you're like, I have not started, start tomorrow, get the resume looked at, get your cover letter looked at, and start meeting people. Just start networking and meeting as many people as possible to find out what they do, so hopefully they can help you get your first job.
Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. It's been an honor to have you in here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Cassandra. Interesting tips, and I learned something new about Cassandra spinning that wheel. Who would have known? And also, new drivers are spinning the wheel on the road. A new ride-hail service app similar to Uber has been released, except this app is only to women.
I don't think I would be comfortable riding an Uber by myself with a man at 2 a.m.
Gabrielle Patino, a Cal State Fullerton student, says she would feel safer with another woman in the car.
Like growing up, you always know to be with a group of girls.
CJ Go, a ride-haul service app, launched last Tuesday, geared towards women passengers.
Just like Uber, but much better. But it's women only, driving women only.
Kimberly Tunin, CEO of CJ Go, says they only have drivers in Orange County, and their service isn't just exclusive for women.
If you have a coworker with you, your brother, your boyfriend, a husband, and he wants to come along with you, he is welcome to do that. You are kind of vouching for him, though. You're kind of saying to that female driver, he's with me, he's okay.
CJ Go does stringent background checks on their drivers and safety checks on the vehicles.
It's a very feminine experience. We ask you if you'd like music playing, if you'd like silence, or if you're feeling chatty.
I just think it's really important for girls our age to have an option where if they want to go out and have a great time, perfect. We're going to put you in a Jane. It's going to feel comfortable. You're not going to have to worry about, okay, I need to be on guard right now.
Gabby says she would consider getting a CJ Go.
It is different, and I think it's probably catered for women to feel safer, so I think I would actually try it.
But other students have mixed feelings about ride-haul services in general.
I don't think the gender has anything to do with it, just a stranger in general.
Just the fact that we don't know
I
them.
think, yeah.
Joes can get in the car as long as another Jane vouches for them. CJ Go's next plan is to offer their services in Los Angeles. In Laguna Woods, Eric Resendiz, OC News.
Coming up next, we will go to sports, followed by the Huntington Beach ceremony and a recap of last weekend's show.
OC News will conclude after this break.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
A lot is going on in the world of sports. Let's go over to Gustavo for the details. Gustavo?
Thanks, Karen. Now, this weekend wasn't that kind to Cal State Fullerton soccer. The women's team lost 1-0 to UNLV after giving up a penalty kick in the 102nd minute. With that loss, the team is on a second 3-game losing streak of the season. The men's team didn't fare any better as well, after losing to St. Mary's by a score of 2-0. A positive that did come from the men's team is that they were able to come out of the road trip with an even record after beating San Francisco on Friday. Now, going from soccer to cross country, the men and women's team were able to win both of their events on Saturday. The event was held at UC San Diego, and the women's team has now 2 straight victories to start the season undefeated. The men's team is not so far behind, with 1 first-place finish and 1 second-place finish to start the season. Now, moving to the professional side of sports, there was a Tim Tebow signing at team workouts today. The former quarterback is working now with the New York Mets for the first day since being signed after his baseball showcase. Fans lined up around the field to see the Heisman winner go through drills as he tries to prove that he could hang around in the major leagues. While this is only Tebow's first day, he already has the 3rd highest selling jersey in the majors. Now, the Dodgers did their best to hang around this past weekend after coming back from a 6-run deficit against the Arizona Diamondbacks. We pick it up at the top of the 6th inning. Runners on the corner for Kike Hernandez, and he starts the rally by singling to center field. A couple of batter later, and the bases are loaded for El Titan, Adrian Gonzalez. He clears the bases with a double, and the game is tied at 7. However, the game needed more than 9 innings and went to the bottom of the 12th, and the Dodgers' comeback just came up short after a walk-off double by Brandon Drury. The boys in blue dropped 2 of 3 in Arizona, but start a 3-game series at home today against the Giants. From trading runs on the baseball diamond to trading blows in the boxing ring with Liam Smith and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez picked at Smith throughout the fight with long combinations to the body and the head. The Mexican Golden Boy proved too much for Smith and won by a 9th round knockout. After the fight, Canelo said he's ready to fight Triple G Gennady Golovkin. The two have been connected for some time now, and it's starting to look like this is the only fight that can save boxing from officially being second place to the UFC. While people are still waiting for Canelo and Triple G to fight, the people of Los Angeles no longer have to wait for their football team. The Rams had their first game at the Coliseum since 1979. The Los Angeles homecoming didn't feature a touchdown in the game, so each team had to settle for field goals. Right here we see Russell Wilson trying to complete a touchdown. Unfortunately, there was no touchdowns to be had. So let's go to the 4th quarter, and we have Greg Zuerlein putting the Rams ahead 9-3. Fast forward to 1 minute left in the game, and the Seahawks are driving into Rams territory. Now it looks like they're going to get the first down until Alec Ogletree comes in and forces the fumble. The Rams recover the ball, and they're able to secure their first Los Angeles victory in more than 20 years. Now the second week of football officially comes to a close tonight with Monday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. The Eagles look to keep their momentum going after beating the Browns last week, and all eyes are going to be on rookie quarterback Carson Wentz as he plays in his first primetime game. Now that's all the sports I have for you guys here at OC News. Now let's turn it over back to Karen and Eric.
The 9th annual Blessing of the Waves ceremony took place yesterday at the Huntington Beach Pier. Surfers and ocean lovers from various religious demonstrations took time to celebrate and bless the upcoming surf season.
Surfers get spiritual. Members from all walks of faith came together to celebrate their shared love of the ocean this past Sunday at the 9th annual Blessing of the Waves ceremony at the Huntington Beach Pier.
Water symbolizes the perfect union.
between man and creation, between hydrogen and oxygen, that gives us one of the greatest creations known to man.
Among these attendees was 91-year-old Catholic priest Father Christian Mondor, also known as the Surfing Padre, who led the celebratory paddle out. Over 1,000 people attended this year's ceremony from many denominations, including Zoroastrian, Jewish, Baha'i, Muslim, Christian, and Catholic. The mantra for the event is "Water is at the center of life." Water has a central place in the practices and beliefs of many religions and is the building block of life. Leaders from these denominations spoke at the blessing, as well as the national champion Huntington Beach High School surf team. Music was provided by an all-Huntington Beach lifeguard band. Surf City and the Interfaith Council of Huntington Beach put on the event to support the waves and all who love to ride them. I'm Christina Masseri reporting for OC News.
Thank you, Christina. So much love in the water. And one of the largest events on campus of Cal State Fullerton took place this past week. Concert Under the Stars had plenty of us dancing and rocking the night away. Our own Dottie Liao is here with the details. Dottie.
Cal State Fullerton celebrated its annual community fundraiser Concert Under the Stars on Saturday to raise money for scholarships and student programs. The event drew in 4,000 guests who enjoyed live performances by students from the College of the Arts department. The attendees sprawled across CSUF's intramural field to indulge in food and fun while listening to live jazz, swing, gospel, and funk music. Over 1,000 undergraduates contributed their talent to the show, which is also included with theatrical performances with singing and dancing to songs that pay tribute to the theme of the night, American Bandstand. Audience members got to experience an oral road trip across America, which finished with a bang. The event raised $950,000 towards grants and student aid.
And that's it for OC News.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Resendiz. Don't forget to follow us on social media with the handle @CSUFOC News.
Have a good rest of your night.